lot of my girlfriends on their dating apps, the guys use so many emojis. Like they're like put out like a question prompt and they answer in emojis and we're like, what?
Oh, they don't even write words.
Sometimes, but like we really have to think it through. Like, what does that mean? So let's maybe play it up a little bit. Did you guys ever have like dating app questions?
Not really.
Okay, great. So first question first. Have you guys ever downloaded a dating app?
Of course.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what's dating apps?
You literally have a Tinder sticker on your fridge.
Yeah, I see it right there.
I think until like 4 years ago, I was used 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. We were both on dating apps.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So now the question is, which app?
All of them.
All of them?
Literally all of them. Except for Grindr.
I don't think you. That's where I met Jason.
I was even on Craigslist.
I actually wait. I don't think you use Tinder.
Craigslist.
No, I had Tinder.
Craigslist.
We met on
Looking for a
Craigslist.
partner.
After you sold your air conditioner, you found somebody. Or this is rather like a generalization. Tinder's hookup.
Yeah.
Tinder's a hookup app. I didn't use Tinder. I used Hinge, and then in dental school I used Coffee Meets Bagel.
Coffee Meets Bagel was
That's
a big
really
thing for
popular with
Asians.
Asians, for sure.
Yeah.
And actually, Coffee Meets Bagel, I feel like a lot of church people use. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So I can share.
Oh, you're a
Yeah,
CMD
so
girl?
I was on Coffee Meets Bagel and Hinge. Not anymore. But yeah, so I just want to get a sense of
I
what
see.
apps you use so I can ask questions accordingly.
Oh.
Because I think depending on what app you use, it kind of shows what you're looking for,
I see.
right?
Oh, that's
Interesting.
true. That's true.
So like Grindr, like come on, like what are they looking for, right?
Some sausage.
But I feel like so
Well, it's like you're looking for bagels for Coffee Meets Bagel.
yeah, so
Oh, I see.
okay, so like Coffee Meets Bagel, Coffee Bagel, very morning daytime thing. It feels more date-y.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
Is that why it's called that?
Oh, I see.
Oh, that's interesting. Coffee Meets Bagel. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
But you know, so like when I ask people like what dating apps are you on, it kind of gets me an idea.
Oh, you size them up.
I mean, some people is like everything. Then I'm like, okay, I don't know what you're looking for. So we'll start light. So what were some like cliches or turnoffs or like pet peeves in a girl's profile?
Oh,
Oh wow, these are really good questions.
those are really good questions actually.
Well, I think at that point, it would be different if you asked me now. But at that point, I was fairly simple guy. If
just
she
look-
looks
Are
good,
you complicated now?
I'm a little less immature now.
You have some finesse.
You try to interpret the person through their photos and their captions and their sayings, even like
for
their
sure.
hobbies or
For sure.
You try to connect a little bit deeper than like,
Yeah.
yo, she looks good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a dating app anymore, but if I look at a picture and I feel, again, this is like superficial, I'm judging a picture, but if I feel like I wouldn't be able to vibe with that person, let's say that it's like a picture of them flaunting wealth, like picture after picture.
That's a big
or
big
like,
turnoff.
Again, they could be completely cool in person, but for me, that would just be like, maybe not the best odds.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there are some photos of me on Instagram that people would be like, yo, what a douche.
Yeah.
Dating apps, you're like kind of pigeonholed into certain categories. If the girl seems wholesome and fun, I think that's like a huge turn on. Like
Yeah.
you want to like hang out with them.
For sure.
But if the girl seems like really hard to like keep up with, then I think any guy, especially when we're like 25 and still in school, we would feel intimidated almost.
Yeah.
And certainly there's a lot of that on apps where
Yeah.
you have to impress. And I never want to feel like in a relationship I have to like struggle to keep up.
Dating apps, at the end of the day, it's sort of a numbers game, right? Because more matches, you have more options.
Are we going for options or are we going for quality?
Well, I mean, quality comes to
Two are
having a
related.
lot of options, right?
If you lived in like nowhere and you had one match,
Yeah.
then you don't have
And I think the reality is that girls just have way more options than guys, at least on dating apps. Because
I see.
guys are just like swiping right or clicking heart every time, usually.
girls
out of
definitely
that
have
pool.
the selection, I think.
And I think that makes some girls very like sort of entitled on the dating apps. And I feel like really turn off guys who are
Genuinely trying to approach.
genuinely trying to approach.
Oh,
It would be like guys who like have the status,
the game.
have the game,
I see.
have the wealth, whatever.
Right, right.
They'll have much easier time with popular people.
I think there's a lot of like good and bad things about dating apps. Like, that's certainly one big caveat that if you don't play it well,
Yeah.
you're not gonna succeed.
Yeah. Especially as guys.
This is very fascinating.
Yeah.
There was actually a TikTok of someone who screenshotted a girl's reaction to him saying, "Hi, this is Dan," and then she's like, "And so?" That was the question. That was the response.
Yeah.
And then I thought that the comment section would actually be like, "Oh, like why is she being so mean to him?" But people were like, they were actually like half the comments, he's wasting her time.
Yeah.
Oh, he's one of those that doesn't put any effort in.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, people actually like decipher to that
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
depth.
Because the reality is that she probably has 1,000 guys just saying the same thing.
But the fact that a lot of other people
Yeah.
didn't see what I saw was a black and white, like,
Yeah.
oh, she could have at least been like, hey,
Yeah.
nice to meet you.
It's actually pretty rude to say so.
Right, but a lot of people didn't think so.
Really?
If you make the slightest error, then
Oh, you lose your opportunity.
yeah. So it just becomes like a really careful game, and I
Yeah.
think people generally when they're dating don't like playing
Yeah.
these games.
Yeah.
So they get jaded, and
Yeah.
then that contributes to the whole let me just swipe as many as possible
Mm-hmm.
and then see from there. And I think a lot of people are actually pretty tired of dating apps now.
Yeah,
From-
yeah.
At least from our age group.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Same
seem
for
like
us.
people, yeah.
There's a fatigue.
Yeah.
But then I think from the female perspective, sometimes we would match with very decent people, but they're not striking a conversation, or they go hey or hi,
Oh, okay.
and then it's kind of like, are you just saying that like, did you just swipe mindlessly and then just say hi, or are you actually trying to get to know me?
Oh, dude, that's kind of goes back to what I was just talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
Did she
So I don't
interpret it
think
as-
like that warrants as such like a hostile like response.
I see.
But I think there's just kind of like, okay, like I'm kind of excited, but is this all you're putting in? Like,
I
are
see.
you trying to get to know me, or am I another like a Tinder swipe?
I see. Actually, from a girl's perspective, now I could see maybe she expected a little more because she probably had thought like something about this guy. It's like that's all the effort you're gonna put in. It's like I actually thought you're gonna like
I get it. I get her point.
But
I mean,
so is kind of rude. I agree.
I know.
Yeah.
Dating apps are so tricky, man.
I mean there's a market for it because people need it, but I'm very against it to be honest.
Did you meet anyone through dating apps?
Yes.
Oh, you did. And how'd it go?
Well.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
And
There are a lot of success stories.
Yeah.
So we paint this rather negative picture of it, but
Yeah.
there's a need for it, and
Yeah.
it seems to work. Like,
I think if you're not a superficial person, you can find someone there. But if you're going for like just the looks, you'll have tough time blending that dream guy.
wait, but how did you know to meet that person and not somebody else?
so for me, I knew kind of what I was looking for. I wanted someone that shared the same faith, someone that is Korean American because my parents live in Korea. So they want to be able to build a relationship with my future husband. And I wanted someone that's very honest and genuine. So I actually literally wrote that on my profile.
Aha. And the person who you met was very much aligned.
He liked that answer.
Aha.
So then that made me want to consider going on a date.
Interesting.
Ah, I see.
That's okay. So it's very specific.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
laid it out there like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I realized, so like if I am a little too wishy-washy, but I knew what I wanted to also respect the other person's time. So if I feel like we don't share the same values or we feel like we're not gonna vibe, I want to be open-minded, but within some sort of certain confines. If that makes
Yeah.
sense. So yeah.
That's being considerate.
But it wasn't like I wasn't looking at looks, but I was willing to really, meet anybody that
Yeah.
met that.
Yeah.
But then if somebody was like, hey, sup?
Some stellar
Or like they kind of have the conversation, but it like dies down in like three
Yeah.
conversations. It's
Yeah.
like hello. I've had that so like often.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can't really judge the other person because he could be going through so many different things in his life, whatever, and like he's already talking to another person. It's
Yeah.
just hard to judge from there. It's like a lot of it is fortuitous events of people happening to be at the right stage.
Right.
So a lot of my girlfriends on their dating apps, the guys use so many emojis. Like they're like they just express themselves in emojis.
Maybe they think it's cute.
I don't get it because they're like they like put out like a question prompt and they answer in emojis and we're like what?
Oh, they don't even write words.
Or they like one word in like emojis, like hiking, running.
Oh, like activities that they like or something.
Sometimes, but like we really have to think it through. Like, what does that mean?
Aha.
Or it's like, why would he put emoji instead of just putting it into words, right?
Yeah.
It almost seems like because it's not the norm, he's not
Yeah.
normal.
You know what it is? These guys are kind of desperate, so they think being cute
Oh, you think so? What if they're just being like whatever? I don't care.
I don't think so. If they're whatever, but they will literally write 2-word answers, not
Uh-huh.
even use emoji.
So if you're on dating apps and you use a lot of emojis, can
that
you
mean?
please enlighten
below.
us?
No, I can answer this. There was a point in time where I thought using more emojis would get more attention.
So you did that.
So I did that.
I
see.
see.
Do you want to stand out?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like I'm being more animated.
You saw
showing
Jason's
my
profile.
Showing my personality.
Yeah, I won't see this.
So I put like 2-3 emojis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's you.
Wait, that's one answer.
Gloria swiped left on you.
Yeah, exactly. not just
mean-
her, many people.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom. Yeah. Don't worry, I had dinner already. Mom, have you seen any good dramas lately? Mom, Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha is not real. There aren't any dentists like her. I'll try, Mom. I'll try. Don't worry.
Yo, who are you talking to?
My mom.
How are you talking to her right now?
My soundboard frames.
That's right. Soundcore frames are Bluetooth-enabled glasses that can be used to play music or take phone calls on the go. And they come with interchangeable frames that can be changed based on your personal style.
You've been using it for like what? Grocery shopping and like just going to the gym?
It's really nice because you're not isolated in your earbuds. You're just doing your thing, but you can still have the leisure of listening to music, taking phone calls.
Like Jason said, mostly take it for casual strolls.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need to have my earbuds. You can't expect the in-ear quality because they're not in-ear buds. It's not, I don't think it's like meant for that.
Yeah.
It's for the convenience of putting them on and then like being on the go.
And you look very stylish while doing it.
And they're polarized too. You can actually tell that they're polarized when you put them on. And yeah, protect your eyes.
Click the link in the description. Now back to the show.
Maybe, I don't know if you've ever seen girls on like their profile doing this, but we see this a lot. Their guys pose with girls in the picture.
Oh, there's definitely a
Like why?
status thing, right?
I don't think I've ever would consider
Like the guy.
even like a picture of him and his mom on the dating app.
Oh.
Or like a grandma. My grandma I can understand. But
Maybe he wants to show that he's family oriented.
I think mom is understand depending on the context of what that picture shows.
but then get this. They crop, like they blur the face.
I see.
So they must put it. So in my head I'm like, is that the best picture you have?
I think for some guys they actually don't have other pictures.
Yeah, they actually some cases they actually really don't
Some
have
of our
pictures.
friends are clueless when it
Yeah.
came to, I was like, dude, why the F would you? And I know my friend wouldn't.
It's like you're fully more capable
Yeah,
of taking
yeah, yeah.
better pictures.
But some of them
Some
just
are
don't.
just completely
Yeah.
ignorant. But I think for most girls, it's not a good look. There are certain girls.
I think certain younger girls though, when they see that a guy is with like well put together,
Yeah.
attractive women, they actually just automatically put like a value on him.
Yeah.
I've never got that vibe.
Well, I think it really depends on the
I see. I also think that you see a way more depth in people. Just your personality. Yeah, even your questions. They're all going past the superficial stuff.
Yeah.
Well, let's ask the viewers in general. If you see a guy who's surrounded by a lot of girls, does that give him extra status?
Anyway,
All right. Well, thank you, Gloria, for coming on by, for dropping some wisdom and asking some really thought-provoking questions.
for sure. Thank you so much
Yes,
for coming in,
yes.
and we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Peace.